And welcome to another episode of the Hammer Drops. I'm your host, Layak. Hope you guys are having a great day. So today we're going to talk about the, some myths and facts about weight loss. Some of the things that that you see online, on TV, people are telling you, so-called trainers, nutritionalists, all of them, things that they're telling you that you should be doing, which, in honesty, you probably shouldn't be. So we're going to go over that all today. So let's just jump right in, shall we? So, first and foremost, the first myth to weight loss is the myth that eating 1,400 calories or 1,500 calories or less per day, number one, is healthy. Number two, you're going to lose weight and sustain weight loss. Both are false, okay? You're not going to sustain weight loss by just cutting your calories that low. First off, you need, and let me explain this here real quick. You need X amount of calories per day just for normal body functions, for your organs to function, to breathe, for brain function, for sneezing, for pissing, for crapping, all that stuff. For eating, you burn X amount of calories per day. And you need to make sure that you are intaking those X amount of calories per day just for those body functions. Okay. And having your body at 1,400 calories a day, and then you want to go work out, so you're burning there. If you're active at work, you're burning there. When you're sleeping, you're burning calories. So you see where I'm going? You're burning calories all throughout the day. Now, it's like, I guess the best way I can describe it is take a furnace, for instance, that heats your home. When it's running optimally, your house is heated. It feels good. The humidity is great. Heat's perfect. But when it's not working to its efficiency, you have cold rooms. It doesn't feel very good in the house. That's what's happening when you're not putting in the calories that you need and you doing what you need to do as far as that. That's essentially what you're doing to yourself. One thing I like to say is, and here's my backstory real quick. My backstory is, was it probably back in 2012, I want to say, I was up over 400 pounds. And I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, holy shit, how did I get here? I had a stressful job, just a lot of stress in my life at that point, which contributed to it, which made for bad choices. I mean, it got so bad. I would literally have breakfast, and I was running my own business with, we won't go there, but I had my own business at the time. And I would literally eat breakfast, go to work. By mid-morning, I would have already eaten my lunch, or I would have stopped at McDonald's and grabbed another breakfast. And then eat my lunch and so on and so forth. And then eat 2 platefuls of dinner, because I love my wife and she's an amazing cook. So it was very hard to resist the food that she cooks. Especially when I was when I had all that stress, I was a stress eater. So I would just eat. And then it was like not even 15, 20 minutes. Well, I won't say 15, 20 minutes, but let's just say an hour or so after I ate 2 heaping platefuls of dinner. Well, now I wanted ice cream, or I wanted a bowl of cereal. So I would have that. And then I would have the other just before bed. So I was consuming so many calories, and I was just being pretty much a lump of coal, not doing anything. And finally, I just got to that point where it's like, okay, I got to do something. And there wasn't a lot of stuff out there back then. I did all the research myself on what I needed to do, supplements to take, this and that and the other, exercises, nutrition, all of it. Because back then, I really didn't have the money to go hire a nutritionist because, that was the thing, or a personal trainer. I didn't have that. So I had to do this on my own, which I did. So when I first started, I cut the calories down, way the fuck down. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a minimal snack, maybe, of like carrots or something. I was strict. And I lost 60, 70 pounds. I was like, oh, great. And then for a couple months or so, I hit a wall where I didn't lose any weight. And I started putting weight back on. I was thinking to myself, like, well, I'm only eating X amount. Why am I fucking gaining weight? And then I started looking at the stuff I was eating, you know, and I also got into my head, well, like, we would go get Chinese food, and then I would have this heaping thing. And it's like, well, I can eat that. I'm working out. Well, I would eat it. And I was still having some of those same bad habits. And it was like, that was what was causing me to put on weight again, because, I took my eye off the prize, so to speak. And so I started doing that. And then I realized, okay, I can't be doing that. Even working out, I can't just consume whatever the fuck I want to, especially garbage food. Okay, so I'm like, all right. So I went back to how I was doing it. Sure, I lost weight. Then boom, hit that wall again. It's like, okay, what the hell? And this time I was pretty much on track. And I was trying to think to myself, like, what the fuck did I do wrong now? And then it hit me. Doing the research and all that stuff, I maintain at like 1,500 calories. Maybe I didn't even touch anything over 1,700 calories a day at that point. And I was pretty neurotic about, my Fitness Pal scanning and everything, because I wanted to make sure. And, I was looking at the calories and I started looking into it. It's like, oh, well, I'm working out. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing 2 cardio sessions a day. I'm going to the gym for an hour. It's like I should be losing weight, but I really wasn't. And once I figured out what was going on, and, it was essentially the calorie intake, I was putting my body into starvation mode. And that's what happens. And when people tell you, like, oh yeah, only eat X amount, don't listen to them. Don't be afraid of food. Because if you only take in that X amount of calories, you're not having enough for all your other functions that your body needs. So of course your body's going to store everything. And at that point, yeah, great, you lost all that weight. Now you're going to start putting all that weight back on. You're going to start getting aggravated. You're going to fall off, because you're going to think to yourself, well, what the hell's the point? Same exact thing I did. And I think that is the same exact thing many, many people have done, because they're like, well, fuck. Okay. So don't be afraid of food. And I can't stress that enough. Okay. And you have to eat to lose weight. And if anybody tells you differently, they're full of shit. Don't give them your money. Don't buy what they're selling, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So, I mean, that's one. Number 2, you need to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. You need to stay properly hydrated every single day for optimal performance. Okay? Your body needs that water. Not only is it going to cleanse your body, keep your organs functioning at a high level, your circulatory system, all of it, but it's also going to help make you feel fuller longer. So you need that water. Now, here's a myth. Here's a myth for you. Diet pills, people claim they work. Okay? Yeah, you may see benefits when you first try them. Maybe. But 9 times out of 10, you're taking that $40, $50 that you're spending on a bottle of pills and just throwing that money away, because I guarantee you, if you look at the back of one of those pills that you got now, your diet supplement or your thermogenic or whatever you want to call it, look at the back of it. It probably has a little thing that says priority blends, and it has all this list of stuff. And then it gives you X amount of milligrams that it has of all of this crap. Yeah, that's what you're getting, is crap. Now, if that's something, if you're looking for something like to help you out, I mean, go get yourself some caffeine, drink a cup of coffee, go to the gym. Okay? That's going to help you out. That's going to get your metabolism fired up and get you going. So, myth, diet pills working? No, they don't work. You may see, again, something in the beginning, but realistically, eventually you're not going to see any results and you're just wasting your money. Okay, now let's talk diets. Now, a lot of people, they wanted to go do keto, plano, whatever. Some people feel that doing a intermediate, fasting, stuff like that, that's going to help them in their weight loss. Now, I've tried the fasting. Yes, it's helped out a little bit. The only time I really like to use fasting now is if I want to kind of reset the body, so to speak. I don't do that kind of stuff long term. Doing it like maybe 1 day a week, fast, 2 days a week, something like that, like on the weekend when you're at home or something like that. That's kind of what I would probably do. Now I know keto, it's helped out a lot of people. Keto is, I'm not going to sit here and knock it because I know people that are on it that are losing weight, but they're also very active and working out as well. So, I mean, is keto alone, again, isn't going to help you lose weight. You have to put in the work in the gym. See, weight loss is 90% nutrition, okay? Or maybe 80% nutrition, 20% gym. You still got to go to the gym. You still got to, because the leaner you are, the more lean muscle mass you have, the more your body's going to work, the more you're going to burn, the more you're going to, those calories you take in, it's just going to keep you going, the metabolism. Okay. And that's what you need. Because a lot of people here's a myth. Eating 3 times a day is just fine. That's all you need to do. Having your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No. Again, look at a furnace, okay, or a vehicle. You give it energy and it goes, and it keeps going because it has fuel to keep going. Okay. So and you kind of have to look at it like that. So when you're dieting and you're not providing and you're just eating those 3 times a day, just like that, not having any, the snacks or whatever. Okay. Eventually at some point during that, before your next meal, you're going to be all sluggish and then you'll eat and you're going to boom, go. And then you're going to fall back down on your face. Okay. Which isn't good. So my recommendation, and this has been recommended by numerous different, nutritionalists and trainers and all that stuff, is have your breakfast, have a couple 2-3 hours later, have a snack, have your lunch 2-3 hours later, have a snack 2 to 3 hours later, have dinner, and then have a snack a couple hours after that if you need to, but make it a healthy snack like protein, something like that. And then not so heavy, and make sure that you do it a couple hours before bed because you don't want your body trying to digest anything before you go to bed and falling asleep because now your body's working as you're trying to sleep, and that might be why you're not sleeping very well as well. So there's a whole bunch of different things that contribute to this. So, I mean, if keto's working for you or one of those diets are working for you, hey, great. But remember, eventually, as long as you're eating and you're not starving yourself, because if you're starving yourself, eventually it's going to catch up to you and you're going to hit a brick wall and you're going to be asking yourself, why am I not losing? Now, they all try to make you think like, well, carbohydrates are bad and all that. Carbohydrates aren't bad for you. And you can do a thing where you carb load. If you're working out, if you have a high intensity workout like legs or something like that, eat your carbs then because you're working on a bigger muscle group, that's where you're going to want your carbs more with protein. And if you're not working on a muscle group that's like your biceps or triceps, Now you want a little bit less carbohydrates on those days, stuff like that. And this is all stuff that you can play around with and find what works for you. Now, as far as your protein intake, try not to intake more than 30 grams because your body isn't going to be able to assimilate more than 30 grams of protein. It basically you're wasting it at that point. 30 grams is roughly the sweet spot for your protein, that the max that you want per meal. Now let's talk fruits. Now everybody, including your doctors and all that stuff, will say fruits are great for you. They are. Fruits are good for you. I'm not going to say they're not. In moderation. We need to remember that fruits, even though it's a natural sugar, still has sugar. And sugar to a body, for some, isn't good. And sugar is going to help you increase your body weight. So you can have all the fruits you want. If you just eat nothing but fruits, I can promise you're going to put on weight because you're getting in too much sugar. So fruits, again, in moderation, are okay. Too much of it can have the same damning effect as eating, maybe not as eating a candy bar, but the amounts of sugar in a candy bar, as far as your weight loss journey. One thing I did do for myself when I lost all that weight, I cut sugar, which included fruits. I kept having like vegetables, stuff like that for the fiber, but fruits I got rid of. I stopped eating fruit. I mean, I wasn't a big fruit eater anyways, but I stopped eating that. I just cut sugar out. Now, I know cutting sugar out is hard, and especially if it's refined sugar, that's even the worst. But you'll notice if you get rid of the sugar, that might actually help out too. So that's another thing that they want you to, believe, have this many servings of fruits and all that stuff. But you have to remember, fruits also have sugar. Fruits also have carbohydrates. And a lot of people, when they have the fruits, they don't really include that in with their daily intake, which isn't good. So remember that as well. Now, so we covered a lot of stuff here today. We covered, and I apologize if I wasn't saying myth, fact, but I think you kind of figured it out. Moderation is a key thing, okay? Everything and anything you can have moderation. Don't buy into all the nonsense that, hey, there's this magic pill, because there is no magic pill. There is no magic shot. All they want to do is give you something and get you dependent on it for big pharma, essentially, to make more money off you, which we don't want. There's healthier choices, alternatives to do than depend on big pharma to help you lose weight. And that one thing that you can do is pretty much become more active. Get off your ass, stop watching the TV, and become more active. Whether it's walks, whether it's the gym, hiking, swimming, bicycling, whatever. Get out and enjoy the sun. That's how you're going to be healthy. You'll be healthy, you'll be happy, and all of that. Now, if you found this episode good, please do me a favor, or if you enjoyed it, share it with somebody. Give me a like, leave me a comment below, and just let me know. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a trainer on for an episode. And what I will go over with the trainer will probably be a few part, maybe like a little series to help maybe get you guys to more information to help you guys on your journeys if you're trying to lose weight, trying to get in better shape or health. So I'm going to get a trainer in here on the show, and I'm going to pick his brain. If you have any questions that you want me to ask the trainer, email me at layak at thehammerdrops.com. Let me know what your question is so I can ask that question to the trainer when I have them on the show. Okay? Until the next time, folks, be good to one another and stay on track, and don't be afraid of food, water. Enjoy yourself. Until the next time, folks.